Go ahead and get this recorded. That way I can go ahead and get everything out to you guys later on. But today we're going to actually just focus on Elliot's wave, okay? Elliot's wave. This is something that many of you guys may actually know, but some of you guys may need a bit of a reminder to it. But this, and some of you may actually be, this is your first time actually being introduced to it. It's not a problem. I want to take my time with it. I want to make sure that you guys get it, because this in itself is going to be the very foundation of you understanding how the market moves, but not just how the market moves, but also how to spot market structure, okay? So right now, what I got it up here is just a brief look at the Elliot's wave and how it moves, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and clear everything off the chart, and I'm gonna start from fresh. I want to make sure that everybody understands exactly how does the Elliot's wave move. And you'll start seeing certain patterns in the market, because if you notice, this right here is a bit of a head and shoulder pattern. And then if you look down here, you see an inverted head and shoulder pattern, okay? So the Elliot's wave actually makes both your inverted head and shoulder pattern as well as your regular head and shoulder pattern. And these are pretty much market reversal patterns. And that's something that we'll get into a little later on. But first and foremost, what I want to show you is how to use the Elliot's wave to predict exactly where the market is going. But not just that, but how many pips you can actually acquire in the market, okay? So let's go ahead and just wipe this clean real quick. I'm just going to go ahead. Actually, you know what? No, I'll do it this way. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen where the market is made, let's say a low. This is going to be your low. All right. This is going to be your low. Bump that up a little bit more, say about 24. Okay. So the market creates a low for you. This is where the market starts. This is also considered like your zero. Okay. And then it makes an impulsive move, which will be now, this is now considered your higher high, okay? Now the market will pull back and now create a lower low. A higher low. Why is this a higher low? Because this point here is higher than this point here. It has created a higher low point than your previous low, okay? Now, understand, the market tends to always give you an impulsive move and then comes back and gives you a corrective move. This corrective move is nothing more than you have buyers in the market, okay? You have buyers in the market who decides to now pull out of the market, sell their shares or sell, sell off their trades. And what happens is your sellers are now the larger part of the market, which creates that corrective move. And typically that corrective move is 50% of the impulsive move already, okay? Now, this is where a lot of our traders like to get in at the market to continue on with the buy, because this is at a very low point, okay? Remember, sell high, buy low, okay? Sell high, buy low. And at this point, because we understand that we are in a bullish direction, we are going to buy at this point. So understand, market moves to a high point, pulls back to a low point, and then she takes off again, giving you a higher high. Okay, now you have a higher position than your previous high. This right here is showing you move 0, 1, 2, and then this is 3. Now, Elliot's wave gives you pretty much 5 different waves before it reverses on you. 5 different waves before it reverses on you. Okay, let me say that again. The market typically gives you 5 different waves before it reverses on you. So this will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, 3, 4, and then this will be 5. So you now have a higher low here, and then you also have a higher high here, okay? Now, simply using your trend line, you can see just connecting, okay? You're just connecting your low point and whatever the first touch is, okay? Whatever that first touch is, you're just connecting those points, okay? Connecting those points. Once that market breaks that trend line and she surpasses your previous low here, understand that market is now in a place where it is about to reverse and go in a sell direction, okay? Typically what happens is when you're looking at the Elliot's wave in the market will give you a head and shoulder pattern. Look at this one right here. Very easy to spot. And like I said, this is something that we're going to talk about a little later on. I don't want to bombard you guys with too much today because I just really want to focus on our Elliot's wave, okay? So the market gives you a head and shoulder pattern, and anytime that you have a head and shoulder pattern, it's nothing more than a continuation to the downside. So it's typically 2 confirmations that really happen. One, the market breaks your trend line. 2, it gives you a head and shoulder pattern. And whenever you see that head and shoulder pattern, also done broke your trend line, expect for the market to shift in a downward direction, okay? Expect the market to shift into a downward direction. Now, as you can see, the market created a higher high, came down, broke your trend line, and continued to move down past your previous low, all right? So now, this becomes your lower low, okay? Why? Because the market done created a place where this low is lower than your previous low, all right? Here, you now have a higher low, all right? You now have a higher low. Now, why is this your higher low? Why is this your higher low? Because it is lower than your previous high point. And as the market continues to move down, it continues to repeat the cycle. It gives you a lower low, then gives you a higher low here, okay? Then gives you another lower low, and then you have your reversal. Now, what is this point here? Is this a higher low or is this a higher high? Somebody talk to me. Is that a lower low or is that a lower high? Right here.
It's a higher high.
There you go. It's a higher high. So now we are in a bit of an uptrend. We have our higher high here. Now we have our higher low here. And the cycle just repeats itself. Now you have another higher high that was created here. You have a higher low. Whoops. Come on. You have a higher low here, and then you have your higher high here. Okay? So it's the exact same thing, exact same principle. The market, once again, when it breaks your trend line, and all you're doing is just connecting the first two that come about. All right? You see how that market broke your trend line and created an inverted head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder, head, and there go your right shoulder. And she's off to the races. Okay? Now, anytime that you're looking at the Elliot's wave, anytime that you're looking at the charts pretty much, the one thing that you really want to understand is finding your Elliot's wave. Find out exactly where you are in the market so you can make an intelligent decision about what the next steps will be. Okay? Now, utilizing your trend lines is going to be pivotal because you want to see that break. You want to see the break of your trend line. And once you see the break of your trend line, then you'll also be able to see your Elliot's wave. You'll be able to see your head and shoulder pattern. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the charts because I wanted you guys to see some things. All right? Now, I've been focusing on gold a lot lately. And the reason why is because I really believe that gold is about to shoot up. It's about to shoot up fairly nicely. All right. Now I'm thinking that it's probably going to go up to somewhere close to about 2,600. Now, this is just based off of my analysis. I've been working with other traders to make sure that my analysis is on point. But this is what I want to show you. Okay. Now, on a weekly time frame, okay, I've done some searching. All right. Now, just like the Elliot's wave, you see how you have leg 1, then 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5, correct? You guys seeing that? You got leg 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Right now, just looking at gold, and this is on a weekly time frame. This is on a weekly time frame. We have leg 1. This is 2. What leg are we in? Somebody talk to me. What leg are we in?
3.
There you go. We in that third leg. So that third leg is typically about the same distance as that first leg. This was your corrective move. This was that pullback. And now you can see that market is starting to move in an upward direction. Where is she heading? All it is measured moves. That's all it is. You copy the point to point. Okay, so your low point to your high point. You use your trend line, you copy that. All right. And then all you do is just add it to the low point of your market before it starts to move back up again. So right now, we are in this leg here. We're in our third leg of this move. Now, right now, you can see where we are in a nice little area where there's a zone. Okay, and like I said, this is on a weekly time frame. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of blow everything up for you guys so you guys can actually see it really clear. Okay. Now, you guys can see where we had a high point here, causing us to create a nice little zone. Now, if I just basically use this area and just move it all the way over, you see where this is now a level of resistance. She broke through that level of resistance and came back down to retest. So after a retest, what typically happens? Somebody talk to me. What typically happens when we have a retest?
It goes
Will it continue in this
You got it.
current direction?
There you go. And seeing as though that we're in leg number 3, okay, we're anticipating this market to pretty much shoot up around about that same distance as your previous leg. So we copied and pasted that measurement. And what we're looking at right now is that market coming up to somewhere close to about 2,600. Now, if we look closer to this situation, what do we see? Somebody talk.
Is this a channel? Ascending channel?
It's a channel. Now, here's the crazy thing. Originally, I was looking at this market and thinking to myself, there was an engulf, well, not engulfing, but a head and shoulder pattern. Because if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see the head and shoulder pattern very, very clear. Actually, let me do it on a daily. That may be better. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. Can you guys see the head and shoulder pattern? This being your left shoulder, right here. This being your head. We were just waiting for that right shoulder to basically form before it goes back up. All right. Now, here is the other thing. When you look at things on a weekly time frame, okay, the last 2 weeks, tell me what pattern that is. Just looking at the last 2 candlesticks, somebody tell me what pattern that is.
Engulfing.
There you go. If you notice, the market made a huge wick back up into this area here before pushing back down. If you look at it, okay? Market made a huge wick coming up into this area and then dropping back down. So what I'm looking at and what I'm anticipating is this market possibly continue to move back down into this area here, back into this zone here, creating a lower low. All right, now if she does that, then we're anticipating the market to continue to move down a little bit more before she shoots back up. But what I am definitely anticipating is this market finishing its move all the way up to 2,600. So this is one that we're going to definitely keep monitoring, because if you notice, if I can do this right, yeah, screw it. I'll just do it this way. This zone here is probably where she's heading to before she moves all the way back up. And I can see her actually touching that area here before she actually pushes back up, because this right here just looks like it's a nice little flag pattern that's happening. Okay, so I want you guys to keep in mind that this market could definitely continue to push up inside a goal. All right, now, like I said, this is nothing more than the beginning of your Elliot's wave. If you take a look at your Elliot's wave and see how this is actually formulating out, you see, started from a low point, got to your high. pull back to a higher low, and now she's pushing up to do a higher high. I want you guys to see this one more time. This is the beginning stages of your Elliot's wave. All right. Now, once she actually breaks through this high point, understand she has nowhere else to go but here. All right. So we're going to keep monitoring this one. We're going to make sure that we keep this one in mind. And there's a ton of other ones that have done the Elliot's wave before. Let me see if I can go over to my my favorite pairs. Let's take a look at GU. All right. Now, I've been playing around with GU for some time, but I also want you guys to actually see a lot of the patterns in the market. Okay. Just matter of fact, just look at this pattern here. All right. And we're just going to do a zigzag with this. All right. So we have leg number one. Actually, let me change the color of that so you guys can see it. All right. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's leg number two. So 0, 1, 2. You have 3. This is 4. And then this is 5. And then what happened? Market reversed on this, right? Now, easy way, like we said before, to determine best time is to just use what? Your trend line. When she breaks her trend line, she has to come back to retest that trend line. Okay? And as you can tell, come on here. She pretty much rolled that trend line down a little. But now what is she doing? Is she moving up or is she moving down?
Moving up, looks like.
There you go. So right here, we have that impulsive move. She's pushing back, and now she's moving back up. Now, my belief is that she's going to hit this zone here, then come back down to retest. So what we're looking at this week is a bullish move for GU. And I'll look at my technical analysis over here. And what we're looking at is on the daily, on the daily, we're looking at a strong buy. On a weekly, we're looking at a strong buy. And on a monthly time frame, we're looking at strong buys. So on the hour, it looks like it's a bit of a sell, but understand on the higher time frames, we're looking at a buy direction. So just based on the higher time frame and an analysis on the higher time frame, we may see some pushback down, but ultimately she's moving back up into this zone here. All right, so do expect to have some bullish movement. I'm going to continue to monitor the charts to make sure that we get a good entry for that. And with GJ, it's pretty much the same. I'm already looking at GJ moving up because we have a beautiful W pattern here. Okay. Go ahead, Ronnie. You had a question?
Where you get that more technicals from? Where you get that graph like that?
Which graph?
Yeah, see to your far right at the bottom where it says.
Oh, the more technicals. Okay, so this area here, this comes with your trading view. This comes with your trading view. So a lot of times, what you have to do is just kind of minimize your zoom. So just zoom out just a tad bit of your entire browser to actually kind of show up. Sometimes you can actually just scroll up in this particular area because this little button here up in the corner, it pulls out your panel, allows you to have your watch list, and then whatever pair that you're using, it'll actually switch it out. And then just scroll down until you see more technicals. And this basically gives you all of your technical data on that particular chart, or should I say on that particular pair. It gives you all the oscillators, such as your relative strength index, your ADX, your momentum, your MACD, so on and so forth, your limited oscillator. It gives you all of your different indicators that can be used to pretty much dictate exactly which direction the market is going to be moving in. And as you can see over here, you have a lot of neutrals, you have some sells, but over here overall, you're looking at a lot of buy direction. Okay, even though you have some sells up here, but you have a lot of buy direction that is actually pushing this to show that it's going to be in that buy.
Okay,
All right. Not a problem, man. All right, so once again, I have 10 minutes left. So what I want to do is I just kind of want to open up to questions. If anybody have any questions about some of the stuff that we talked today about Elliot's wave. So I'm gonna open up the floor. Go ahead and ask your questions, guys. Nobody got questions? Because I mean, if not, I can let you guys go early.
Hey, Dan, it's Missy.
Hey, Missy, how you doing?
All right. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you.
On that Elliot's wave, I see it looks like you were looking at it on the weekly time frame, but you can also look at the pattern in different lower time frames as well, right?
Correct. Because even on a 30-minute time frame, hour time frame, you're still going to see the exact same patterns. You know what I mean? It's just in a lower format.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
then just basing it on your trading plan and considering all things from that perspective, right?
Yep, that's it. Because you can see it right here. Because here's leg number one. Oops. Leg number one. There's your pullback. This is your leg number two. Right here. Pull right back into that zone, right back into that area of that level of support. Or should I say right into that area where that previous high was. And then boom. Right here. And that's your leg number five. And what did the market do after that?
Yeah.
Tumbled and fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I mean, you could do it on a lower time frame. It doesn't necessarily matter. But the principle of the Elliot's wave still exists, whether it's on a weekly time frame, monthly time frame, daily, 4 hour, 5 minute, 1 minute. It doesn't necessarily matter. The principle of the Elliot's wave still sticks, and it's pretty much the foundation of everything that you're going to actually see in the market in itself. So once you understand exactly what leg you're in, you can pretty much anticipate exactly what the market is going to do moving forward. So say for instance, you know that you're that third leg, right? But you see that the market is starting to reverse. Well, you already know, well, the market has to give you approximately the same distance as that previous pullback. So what do? You mark off. Let me do it this way. Let me just clear everything off. So what do you do at that point? You see that the market's giving you leg number one right here. Okay. She gave you the pullback. The pullback stopped here. And now she's actually giving you leg number three. So what happens after leg number three? Do you continue on or do you do a pullback? The market typically gives you a pullback, and she gives you a pullback into a specific range. Okay, so right here is your number four. Now, what happens at this point? you know that you have to get to what? Point number 5, correct?
Correct.
Right. So all you're doing is just basically copying the same measurement of leg number 1 or even leg number 2, and then just tack it on. All right. Now, where's your entry point? Where's your exit points? So typically what you want to do is pay attention to this zone here. Okay. Once that market breaks back above that zone, then this becomes your area of where you're going to set your entry at. You will set a buy entry, whether you want to do a market execution or you can do a buy stop, or even you can do a limit, a buy limit. So your entry will be here. Okay. Your entry will be there. Now I like to put my stop loss at the lowest point. Okay. I like to put it at the lowest point of the previous low. And then my take profit would have been up here somewhere. Simply put. Now, the question is this a good risk to reward ratio? Now, this is something that we're going to be talking about pretty much all year long, because I want to make sure that
Yes.
you got a 1 to 4, right?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful setup. And all you have to do is just let that market just do what it do. Because it hit its target, easy. That's it. That's absolutely it. Understanding where to mark up your zones, understanding exactly where you are in the market in itself is going to be key. Now, if you notice with gold, okay, did the market break its previous low?
Yes.
With it breaking its previous low, which is right here, okay, now this market is going to wind up coming back up to this level here to basically reset itself. So what I'm anticipating is this market coming back up here to retest and also give you a head and shoulder pattern, an inverted head and shoulder pattern, which will probably push this market down a little bit further. But we shall see. Overall, looking at the higher time frame, okay, we know what direction is the market moving, up or down.
Up. Looks like moving up.
There you go. So if this market continues to move down, this is nothing more than a corrective move before she continues to shoot all the way back up. That's all that is. Because you can see it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 5. So what's happening at this point? You have in this market to come back down, correct itself before it shoots back up. And that's all that is. That's all that is. All right, you guys have any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, I will let you guys go today. Like I said, I had a hard stop at 3:40, so it's like 3:48. I'm gonna go ahead and get this rendered and get it out, post it out to you guys in the Facebook group. Okay.
Thank you, Daniel.
All right, not a problem. Love you guys
Thanks,
much,
Dave.
and I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks,
all right?
Dan.
No problem, guys.